And without further ado, let me introduce you to Pamela. So, as a life coach, Pamela Mulhearn was asked to speak in groups and make presentations and run workshops, but she always found a reason to make herself unavailable. This was a common thread throughout her professional life, and eventually Pam took charge and enrolled in a public speaking program. Once she realized she could tame this fear that she was feeling, she created her own public speaking program exclusively for women, which is very exciting. So she wanted all women to tame the fear and empower their voices. Pretty on point, seeing as though it's International Women's, it was International Women's Day yesterday. We're celebrating the whole week, aren't we? So her podium curriculum and structure of meetings gives each woman the opportunity to uncover their voice, gain confidence in that voice, and then share their voice to the world. And a coaching client once actually called Pamela the Queen of Reinvention. So welcome, Pamela. Thank you so much for joining us and here to share your story. How are you doing?
I am doing great. I am so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me and having me here. And I hope that my message will inspire other coaches, because I'm all about the pivot. And I'm just excited to be here with you all.
Absolutely. Well, we're very excited to hear your story, because I think, you know, one of the magical things about a lot of these conversations that we have here at iPEC is we have relatable stories, right? Because we've all started our journeys at a place where we didn't really know where it would end us, where it would land us. And to your point, we're going to talk about pivoting, aren't we, with your journey and where that's taken you. So let's start at the beginning of your coaching journey. Can you share, Pam, what led you to enroll in iPEC?
Absolutely. So I am a serial entrepreneur, although I think I've reached the end now. I've found my thing that I should be doing. I've always started, built, and then sold businesses, and then started again. And this has been my journey. I had a friend, Megan Murphy, who is also an iPEC coach, and she is the founder of the Kindness Rocks Project. So we were in very similar places at the time on Cape Cod, and we were both in the process of selling our businesses. And we're like, what's next? And so I'm like, I think I'm going to go to coaching school. And she's like, well, let me check it out. And then we ended up both going to iPEC at the same time in Boston. And I have to say, after it was life-changing. And after Mod 1, when I'm driving back to Cape Cod from Boston, I was like completely zen. I'm glad that I made it home. I felt like I had like alcohol because it was just such an amazing experience. And I was hooked right from the beginning. So
yeah.
and now 7 years later,
yeah, Megan's on as well, saying it was life-changing. Absolutely. Hi, Megan. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it's so funny, isn't it? I know when we were reflecting and we were sharing both of our journeys, it's that so funny that those memories are burned in our minds, aren't they? Because to your point, it's obviously the reaction that you have, because it's an experience. Yes, it's training, but it's this whole energy shifting, mind altering experience, right? Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And so as part of your journey, obviously through iPEC, and you'd chosen to, to embark upon coach training after doing lots of other things, running other businesses. What were the main takeaways during your time with iPEC? And did you kind of have a plan after graduating, what you were going to do with these new skills?
I did. I was one of the students in the class that was like, I've got a plan. This is it. This is what I'm going to do. So you always revert back to what you know and what your expertise is. I had 3 children at the time that were getting ready to venture off to college. So what was my plan next, right? Like, how many women out there are like, what's next for them when the children leave the nest at midlife? So that was it. I was like completely on point. I'm like, I can do this. But you alluded to it in my introduction that one of the things that was holding me back was my lack of public speaking skills. So in order for people to find you, in order for people to understand what you offer, you have to be able to vocalize that and share that with people. And that was a problem for me. So people would find out that I was a life coach and they'd be like, oh, come and speak at my workshop. I found every excuse not to show up. So finally, I decided to enroll in a program, and I have tamed my fear, and I decided that that was something that I should do for others. So to answer your question, I had a plan. You know, you come out of iPEC and you're supposed to have the niche, whatever it is. And I did, and it was to work with midlife women. And I did. I had a private coaching practice one-on-one, and I loved it. But I had to find the clients.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for sharing that, Pam, because I think it's so true. We generally conditioned to put a lot of pressure on ourselves to have a plan. Because the brain loves certainty, doesn't it? And one of the things we do learn within coaching and within iPEC specifically is to kind of surrender a little bit and open to opportunities. And as we'll go on to share, you know, you actually from that experience really saw that actually your challenge turned into your opportunity. It actually unfolded your next step, didn't it?
It did. It did, because I realized that I couldn't live like this. I was living small, and I was not taking advantage of any opportunity. I was just hoping the clients would come to me, or referrals, which happens, but I wasn't putting myself out there. And then I looked back and I saw that common thread through all my businesses. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to put myself out there. I was very comfortable to sit back behind my computer and not worry about trying to get myself out there. So I eventually enrolled in a program, and it was life-changing for me. But while I was in that program, and I don't want to jump ahead, can I just keep going?
Because yeah, absolutely. We're wanting the story. Do share.
All right. So when I was in the public speaking program, boom, it like hit me like a bolt of lightning. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I loved working with women, and I understood a fear of using your voice, not having an empowered voice, not being able to speak in front of a group. I understood it. So it hit me like immediately, this is what you should be doing, Pam. Like within an hour, the name Her Podium came to me, went right on GoDaddy, got my domain. I mean, like, I just knew that this is what I was supposed to be doing. It just felt right. So that's kind of how it happened. And now the rest is history, and I'm empowering women.
Yeah, so. You are. And this is an inspiring story anyway, as well, because there you were exactly where the clients are that you're helping now. So it seems that of no surprise, right? You're actually helping women saying, well, if I can do it, you can do it too, because you've got that foundation of coaching and with having that perspective, but then also seeing that, yeah, actually, this is another learned skill, right? That you're saying that you can actually empower women to actually see that if you step into your learning zone, then it sounds like a whole new world can open up before you, right?
Absolutely. And I use my coaching skills every time I teach a class, because like the public speaking fear is based on limiting beliefs. And so I put the umbrella of limiting beliefs over everything that iPEC teaches you. And I'm able to work with women and kind of get them through that, to talk to them, to understand it. And I'm not sure that if I wasn't a coach, if I would be able to do that.
Yeah, it's that additional support, isn't it? Because we all have these beliefs that we grow up with, right? That we end up saying, oh, well, this is who I am. This is, we take on identity. I love the question, who were you before the world told you who to be, right? It's that question that goes, yeah, well, everything that I've learned or that I am has been learned. And so in equal effort can be unlearned. And you can actually empower yourself to move in the direction that you want to move in. And that's obviously what you're saying that you're doing with the women that you coach. And so you're really doing a blend, aren't you, of teaching, mentoring and coaching?
Yes, I am. And but the coaching is a key part of it. If I could just give you an example of what happens. So in all levels of my programs, the first class is always limiting beliefs. It gives everyone an opportunity to, one, go back and say, wow, somebody told me, a teacher told me, a coach told me, a parent, a friend, somebody told me, like, don't say that. Or in some way kind of squished somebody's voice, right? And so these women are given in this safe space an opportunity to put that fear, number one, discover it, number two, to put that fear into perspective and to bring it out into the sunlight. So things that go bump in the night are much more scary than the things that go bump during the sunlight, right? So, and I've had so many women come to me afterwards or send me a message and say, you know what, I've never had an opportunity to explore that. If I wasn't a coach, I wouldn't even know what to do that, right? I wouldn't even realize the underlying issue of why women have a fear of public speaking.
Yeah, I love that example, Pam, because isn't it so true? You know, that's one of the things we learn, isn't it? That 95% of our behavior is driven by our unconscious mind. And a lot of these beliefs that we form, we're not aware of where we form them, when we form them, but all we know is that can drive our behavior and what we choose to do or not to do. So it's great that you're using these powerful coaching skills to actually unearth, like you say, to shine a light on, well, now you have awareness, right? Because this is what we're doing, right? We are helping people become more conscious, become more aware of what might be getting in their way, so you can put them at choice. And that is fundamentally, what we do here at iPEC, help people be at conscious choice. I absolutely love that.
So when you think about, like, when a student enters and no one comes to a public speaking program that doesn't have a limiting belief. I mean, it just doesn't exist. So, and they're coming with these feelings of, like, I'm not good enough. Nobody would want to hear what I have to say. I'm not smart enough. You can have so many diplomas on your wall and be so brilliant in your field, but that doesn't give you that feeling of, like, I can share my message with everybody. So we tackle it. I have surgeons, I have lawyers, I have women that are, their primary job is at home. They just want to feel more empowered in their voice. It could be anybody that comes to her podium. So
I love that. You get,
go ahead.
Such a dynamic group of people, it sounds like. Amazing.
It is. So the one common thread is they don't feel powerful in their voice. And there are like 2% of the women in the world that are born with a love of public speaking, and they just can't help themselves. They love being on stage and they can do it. The rest of us, it can be a learned skill.
Yeah, and it gives such a lot of hope, I would guess, for women to kind of say, oh, what I thought that I couldn't do, I actually now can do. And that must be so fulfilling for you, Pam. Like, how does that, with your journey and just reflecting on it now, how does that make you feel, seeing these women go from bag of nerves to standing up there confidently?
It is amazing. I always say I have the best job in the world, because I sit in the bleachers and watch these women go from here to here, and we meet everyone where they are. So some people come in and they just want to read, and that's fine, but we want to get you to just using some notes at the next speech, right? So the goal is to get you to the next level, and we do whatever's necessary to help you get there. It's a very supportive, non-judgmental, inspiring, and fun environment in these very small classes.
Yeah, well, sign me up, Pam. It sounds amazing. Well, we have a question from Pomjit. Hopefully I've said your name right. Can you share the name of what program did Pam enroll in public speaking? We can go one better than that, because Pam's created her own, and we will be sharing at the end of this her podium training. So Pomjit, you can access that in the notes. There you go. Thank you, Zach. Added in. There's the link to Pam's website, so you can check her out and check her training out too. I also heard, Pam, that you have not only built this successful, training program, you are growing. you've actually shared and now opened this up and have recruited more coaches, more iPEC coaches to join your team, haven't you?
I have. So there's only so much of me to go around, and COVID, there's a silver lining in it for her podium, because before we were working, most of our trainings were done in person, and then we meet twice a month. We went from all in person to in person and Zoom, so we'd have one of each month. And then when COVID hit, we were ready to just pivot, and we do everything virtually now. That's given us an opportunity to be all over the world. But there's only so much of me. So I decided to expand and to hire some program leaders and to train them. And they are fantastic facilitators. They are all coaches. Three of them, I have four, three of them are iPEC coaches. And we all talk the same language. So
Okay.
it's wonderful. But a coach within this framework is able to read between the lines. So when you have a woman that's like, okay, no, I'll present next time. Okay, I'll present next time. We know something's going on there, right? It's not just like, oh, I'm just waiting. There's something going on, and to be able to take that person aside and say, okay, let's talk about this. Or even within the group, let's talk about what's going on here, because somebody else is probably feeling the same way. So yeah, so we've brought on 4 certified coaches. It gives us the opportunity to offer different time zones, different days all over the world. And in fact, in April, I would like to announce that we will be starting another onboarding. So I am looking for 4 more coaches, and I would love them to be iPEC coaches. So I will be putting something in the marketplace. So keep your eye out.
Oh, I love that. That's like a hot release there. You heard it here first. That's incredible. You know what I love about what you shared, Pam, is that, for a lot of people thinking about embarking on a coaching journey and thinking, right, I'm going to get these skills. And a lot of coaches or a lot of, prospective coaches might think, oh, well, what else can I do? And what I love about your story is this pivot that you've managed to do, that it's not just one-on-one. To your point, there's a whole other host of ways that you can use your coaching skills, right?
Right. And I like to say, so I started off, and I'm going to do one-on-one coaching, maybe do an occasional workshop, and look where I am now. I mean, it's crazy how it happened, but I was open to the possibility. And my coach, Megan Murphy of the Kindness Rocks Project, she kept saying, Pam, just be open to the possibility. You never know what's going to happen. Just don't have these goals that you can't pivot from. So I like to say that I have grit and grace when it comes to building a business. And so I have the grit to do something that maybe I'm not ready to do, or to do something that maybe I'm not 100% prepared for. And I give myself the grace to pivot when necessary. So I tried it. It didn't quite work out the way I anticipated, but that's okay. I tried. Now I'm going to go do something else. So my career is actually a zigzag. It is a straight line, forget it. It's just not going to happen. And I think that more people that realize that and are open to the possibility, they're going to find their coaching practices, or however they use it, is going to just be, it's infinite what you could do.
I absolutely love this. And this is what gets me super excited. I'm jumping around in my chair as you talk, Pam. Because I think, to your point, and you almost look back, don't you, and see how far you've come, and then realize that maybe most of the things that you labeled as mistakes were actual opportunities in disguise, right?
It is true. Yep. Yeah. And on top of that, listen to those moments of inspiration. I get my best inspiration driving and in the shower. And if I listen up, I'm like, wow, that's something I should maybe pay attention to. So you can't ignore the signs.
No, exactly. And that's the thing with core energy coaching. And it's not only coaching skill, it's the way you live. It's the way that you are. And I think that's what then it opens up space to welcome in what you're meant to be doing. And this is about living on purpose, right? And not forcing things. It's kind of power versus force a lot of the time, to actually just be open, like you say, to the possibility, and almost surrender a little to, okay, universe, you show me what you got. Let's co-create here, right? And you're a shining example of that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
We have a little, sorry, we have a little question. Someone's going to pick your entrepreneurial brain. I don't know this person's name, they're anonymous, but they've said that they've worked in the nonprofit world with no business background. Can you speak a little bit about creating your own business?
Okay, creating my own business. I've done it so many times. It comes very naturally to me. Once you decide on what you want to do, again, you've got to be open to pivoting. It's like you can have this fantastic idea, but when you do some testing on it, like if you talk to some other people about it and their reactions are like, like, listen to that. It doesn't mean you need to stop, but it may mean that you just need to take it a different direction just a little bit. So the core business could be great, but maybe take it. I'm hoping that answers the question. It's a very broad question. It is
a very broad question. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think that's
be open.
Of course. Like, I think the key to it, and like you've said before, it's almost the energy that drives you forward, that almost, it's almost, as you rightly pointed out, the example you gave around you being in the situation as a mother with growing kids, and you saw an opportunity and then took action on it, as much as then you saw the next opportunity, really the obstacle being the way, in that, well, I'm having problems speaking, I bet other women are going to have problems speaking, I could help them, I want to help them, it excites me at the thought of helping them. So then what I'm hearing you say is then just be flexible. Like, you've obviously have plans, have a bit of a direction, but don't be so attached. Be open.
Don't be attached to the outcome. Listen to your inner GPS. And the other thing is that you should, oh my gosh, it just went out of my head. If you have an idea, don't be stuck to what the outcome of that idea is, because it may be a brilliant idea, but make sure that it's something that you kind of understand. Like, it can't be like, I understand women, I'm not going to go and coach men. Like, I don't understand it. I understand how a woman works. So that's why I focused on them. But if you think about what you know, what you're an expert in, and then solve that problem.
Absolutely, because that's the energy and drive. And then, like you say, it's the openness to then pivot, trial and error, and that nothing is a mistake, right? Everything is there for our growth and learning. And that's one of the core principles that we learn at iPEC, which is very much around, even if you kind of perceive it to be a challenge or a problem, it's very much not. It can be that possibility in disguise, which is all where the growth is. We had another quick question, but we're going to kind of wrap up, because can you believe we're nearly at 30 minutes? That I could just talk to you forever, Pam. The person in the chat had asked to find out more details about you, and don't worry, because we've got you. We have you covered. You'll see in the chat that lovely Zach has added in links to her podium, Pam's website, and so you can learn so much more about her programs and contact her, because if you're interested, take that, if you're getting the hit, act upon it. Inspired action, right? That's what we're all about here, for sure. So we're going to make sure that that's in the chat here, but then we'll make sure that's in Facebook too. And for those of you who are listening to Pam's story here and thinking, oh, like, that sounds amazing, how do I find out more about coaching? Well, we've totally got you covered there too, because you can get in touch with somebody here, one of us, me included, one of the admissions coaches here. We are here to help share information with you, and the way in which we do it, the way we love to contact you guys, is to truly listen to what it is you're passionate about, and really help you arm yourself with this information, and hopefully save you time and energy in really learning about and getting clear about what you care about and what are the possible steps forward for you to start your own coaching journey, because who knows where it may take you. I mean, it's very exciting. So we're going to put links in. You can contact us here. We'll put a link if you want to speak with an admissions coach. You can do so really easily. And we also, on March 16th, have coaching office hours here on our Facebook page as well. And that's really exciting because we get to really do a Q&A of a lot of the common questions and answers, you know. So it really helps just you navigate these waters, right, of all of these exciting things. So we're here to help you. We're here to support you on your next journey. We live life in chapters, don't we, Pam? Right? Pivoting chapters. So yeah, so I just want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you, Pam, for sharing your truly inspirational story with us and all of your pearls of wisdom and insights. I love the grit and grace piece that you shared. You've definitely inspired me today. So thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This has been wonderful.
Great. Have a great day, everybody. And do get in touch if you've got any burning questions. We're here to help you.